How's it going, guys? I got something exciting today. It's from AmericanVolt.com. It's an electric fan kit for the Datsun. So I figured I'd show you guys how I install this. I don't know how to install it yet because it's my first time doing it, but you can learn with me. So in here, you can see this is the wiring kit, including a temperature sensor, a relay, and a fuse and other stuff. And then here should be two 10-inch fans from AmericanVolt.com along with their mounting systems. Just like that. Yeah, so they've got their mounting straps, however these work, we'll figure that out. And two 10-inch fans. I'll show you guys what I'm planning to do and why I need to make a little bit of a modification to the fan first. So the manual proved to be useless in helping me figure this out. So instead of Googling, I'm first just going to try it and see if I can make any headway. And if I can, then we'll be good to go. If not, then I'm going to have to go to the Google and figure it out that way. What does this do? Absolutely nothing? Cool. Okay, so that loosened the fan, but the blade is in the way. So I need a wrench for that nut. It's American, so it's going to be some nonsense. Oh, 3/8 is too big. Trying 8 millimeter. Oh, it works. Okay. 8 millimeter it is. There we go. Let's get this guy off of here. Fantastic. Cool. Now, how do we want this? Oh, well, that's convenient. I didn't have to unscrew this at all. And now I lost the thing. Nope, we're good. We're okay. Whew, that was scary. At least I hope we're good. Let's see. Does that fit in just like that? These fans spin quite fast, so I'd rather not mess it up. Okay. So now I know how that goes together. So I didn't need to take the motor out because the motor will always be wired, just the same. That's not changing. All I had to do was change around the blade, which I should have thought about, to be honest with you, but I didn't. So let's get these screws back in. Can you guys still see what I'm doing? Yeah, of course you can. It's not perfect, but it'll be over in just a second. There we go. Now let's flip this guy around. So now obviously this is going to sit, and we want the fan to sit just like this. Like that. Is that going to be good? Is it going to work for me? I think this will do just fine. Let's get this 8mm wrench in here, this 8mm socket. Tighten her up. Okay. What's that? That's going to sit on the front of the radiator. If you can imagine, this is going to go on the other side of the radiator, and it's going to pull air through the radiator. And the idea being that I don't want to have to take off the stock clutch fan. I'd rather keep it, to be honest. So this guy is going to go on the other side. So now comes the fun game, mixing around these cars until I can get the Datsun here in the garage. So I pulled the camera off the tripod for this. I want to show you guys just what the plan is over there. You can see the fan there just kind of resting. So I got two 10-inch fans, and the idea is that one will fit on that side, one will fit on this side. I've already tested them out and they fit just right. So for now I'm just going to install the one, see if it fixes my heating issue when I'm in traffic, it gets a little too hot. So I'm going to try taking that fan, put it on the top right where the radiator inlet is, or at least as close as it'll fit. And I'll wire up just a single fan configuration for now to not put too much wear on the alternator, which, by the way, coming up in another video, it's a ZX alternator, brand new. So yeah, see how this works. Okay, so before anything else can happen, never forget, always disconnect your hot lead, or your ground lead rather. So that's about to happen. Oh, come on, there we go. This is the ground to my battery. Get this guy off. Oh, hang on. This happens every now and then. Get a flathead. Open it up a little bit. There we go. So, ground lead's disconnected. Now, we can get back to work on the actual wiring. So, from my understanding, the way to do this is first the temperature probe, which will go inside the radiator. Actually, you know what? Let me just get the parts, I'll show you. So, first, this is the thermostat probe. See if I can get the focus. Come on. No? Nothing? Stand. Right, there we go. Thermostat probe. So this guy goes into the radiator as close as I can get it to that hot water inlet. So that's the hot water coming from the engine into the radiator. That'll give it an accurate description of what the heat is. Get that in there. Wire that up to the relay. That will switch the relay, which will give full power to the fan, and then put in the fan. So, first, this is the thermostat probe. See if I can get the focus. Come on. No? Nothing? Stand. Right, there we go. Thermostat probe. So this guy goes into the radiator as close as I can get it to that hot water inlet. So that's the hot water coming from the engine into the radiator. That'll give it an accurate description of what the heat is. Get that in there. Wire that up to the relay. That will switch the relay, which will give full power to the fan, and then put in the fan. Okay, next order of business. The relay and wiring harness. So you've got a relay, you've got a fuse. Power, main power cables, these are the hots that go to the fans. There's going to be a common negative somewhere there, and these two thinner cables are going to go to the thermostat probe. You need to account for all of this wiring when installing the whole relay assembly. My decision was to make as little distance between the battery, hang on, pop the camera off, boom, between the battery and the relay, which is going to go right here where I've made a bracket for my fuel lines. Just mount right onto that existing hole, boom, I'd be able to route the wires around the outside nicely and cleanly. Okay, so a bit of progress. You can see these long things sticking out, one, and I think the other one's, yeah, just over there. Those are the push pins to mount the radiator fans. You see that big, well, very big rectangle there? Those are the two push pins right now holding it on from the top. So now I have to get the other end on, trim the excess with a bit of a rubber isolator in there. The fan will be mounted. Then I obviously have to get the bottom ones on and route the wiring somewhere. I just realized something I didn't consider earlier, that the back up. The other side of this guy goes to switched power. So I wasn't originally planning to run any switched power. I was planning to figure out, since this is a thermostat probe anyways, the radiator's not going to hit like 180 Fahrenheit, which is what that goes off at, just sitting around. So why do I need the ignition key to be on in order to, you know, have the fan system turn on? Maybe I should have it on anyways to not drain the battery. I'll figure that out as I go along. I'll just wing it, to be honest. But yeah, there's the update. Just figured I'd show you guys how this whole thing works. You've got the push pin with these sort of serrated edges. You get the foam isolating pad, put it there, put the spring on. This goes through the fan, through the radiator, then on the other side, get this end cap also with a foam isolator, and it kind of works like a zip tie where you just kind of slide it down, and it's there. Big pain to get off, but you know, whatever. And then you clip off the excess and you're good to go. So I've got 2 on and tight, third one through the radiator but not tightened, and then this one to go. So I'm gonna get the last of it on, show you guys how the fan looks when it's all mounted up, and then start worrying about wiring. Okay, so now you can see the fan is on there, all 4 pins are in there. It's in there quite solid. I think I actually torqued it down too much. I feel like it should have had a tiny bit of play due to those springs there, but basically bottomed them out, so that might be a mistake, but we'll see. See that the thermostat probe is still in there. All of these are in and cut short so it doesn't interfere with the stock fan. It's kind of off to the side of the stock fan too, which I kind of like. I'm not sure why, but I like that. So yeah, that's wired up. What I just had a thought of was wiring maybe small computer fans here to these grills, and then running the wiring down and just joining up with the rest. But that's for another time. For now, we're just wiring the signal fan. Now that we've got that done, I might test it to figure out what polarity goes where, and then all that's left is actually turning the thing on. Okay, so on to the next step, the wiring. So before I test the fan, I'm going to just get the wiring started. The way I think I'm going to do it is just use this guy. This is the relay. This is the relay, this is the wiring plug for the relay. You can see the relay has a mounting point. I'm going to use that as sort of my basis for everything else. Since I want it there, I'm going to undo this 1 bolt. Okay, so I didn't realize the camera battery died, and since then I kept working a little bit because, well, I didn't really realize the camera battery died. So what's happened since then? To start with, got the fan hooked up. You can see the connectors in there. They're connected up. I'm using speaker wire because that's the only wire that I had that was thick enough gauge. It should do just fine. Obviously I need to route it properly. I'm just making sure I get the right polarity and everything. Found a decent grounding point. It is the focus, please. Oh, I guess I'll make it focus myself. The grounding point is the old, what's it called? The mount for the charcoal canister. I probably will put the charcoal canister back in just because I don't like this and the smell of fumes in the engine bay, so I gotta figure out what I want to do regarding this and the charcoal canister and blah blah, so that's gotta happen. Let's see, that's wired. Oh yeah, got the ground wire ran, so you can see it's moving there on the right side. Simple ground wire, that's installed. The hot wire I'm about to hook up, and this wire goes to a manual override or AC condenser. The idea being that either you can turn the fan on yourself if you know, say you're going to be racing, or you can hook it up to your AC switch, so when your AC turns on, it forces the fan to turn on. I don't have either, so I'm just going to tuck it away. This is the one that goes to the thermostat, and I hooked it up along with the 12 volt power to the battery earlier, which I can't do now because I've disconnected the battery, but it works. The fan spins. I don't know if it spins the right way, so once I get it hooked up properly, I'm gonna have somebody, you know, tap the wire, and then I can feel where the air is coming from and see and whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna hook up the hot line to the battery. Then I've just got to wire up this guy, and I think the most annoying thing is going to be finding a switched 12 volt power, because I don't know where I can find one of those. So here's where we stand right now. We got the battery hooked up, so the hot lead is done, the ground lead is done, the one that goes to the thermostat then to switched is not done. That's going to be done. The one that goes to an AC condenser will not be done. Gotta roll it up and tuck it away. The positive and negative for the fan is done, but unfortunately the polarity is wrong, so I gotta reverse the polarity. So that's going to happen. That's going to be first. So first I'm going to reverse the polarity and get the wires run properly, because as you can see this is going over top of that radiator core support, which is wrong. And yeah, so I'll get to all that. And I think I might not be able to finish the thermostat probe install by the end of the night, but we'll find out. So what I'm doing over here is I'm taking the 3 wires that need to go around the front. So that is the 2 power wires for the fan and the thermostat wire, because the thermostat's on the far end. I don't want to run it along here. I'm going to run it all the way along the front and have it tucked up neatly over there. Then once I'm over there, I can go ahead and find myself some kind of switched 12-volt power supply. Regardless, I got to hit that one up first, so then I'll figure out what I want to do with that switch 12-volt. So I'm using this wire just to extend it for now. Well, not for now. It's going to be permanent, but yeah. It should do just fine. And I just shot a bunch of insulation into my engine bay. Let's get that out of here. Okay, so as you can see, I got a little bit more work done. The SD card on the camera got filled up yesterday, and I figured, you know what, I'm just going to finish the work since it's already dark, and I'll come back and update you guys today. So the wiring is routed through the front. Needs a couple more zip ties to be tidy. Got the wire going in. This is the one that goes to the relay, and it's the wire that goes to the switch 12-volt power. So this switch 12-volt power wire, I actually found a good place, and this is a good tip for anybody who owns this this chassis. Switch 12-volt power can be found in the power lead going to the washer motor here. So the motor underneath this this windshield washer container, it's got switch 12-volt power, and then when you hit the button, it completes the ground connection, which turns on the motor. So it's really hard to see, you guys won't be able to see, but down there I spliced into that wire, then I put a little butt connector here, connected it over there. Gonna have to tidy it up, of course, but everything's running. I've tested it. I haven't tested it with actual heat yet, so that's why today is a nice hot 39-degree day. So should be fun to test that out. Then once it's everything, I verify that everything's working, I can zip tie away all the wires, put some shielding around here so they don't cut themselves open on this, and it should be good. Okay, so quick little update. This side. The fan works just fine. I don't know if you guys can see it in there. Hope you can. It works great. There's no problems. Well, there's actually a problem. The problem is that it doesn't quite get the job done. It works, but it doesn't get as cool as I'd like it to. I have two fans. I might as well install the other one and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and hook up the other one. It shouldn't take very long now because I've already got the I've already done one fan and I've done all the wiring, so it's a simple matter of just figuring out the polarity on this other one and boom, it should be done. So, and then obviously I have to clean up all the wiring and stuff. I have to buy more zip ties before I can finish that though. Cool, let's get to it. Okay, so got the fan connected. This one is way easier because it's so close. You can see I have the wiring coming off this side, tucked away, goes directly into the wire, that the hot lead that comes from the relay, doesn't need any extension. Then the ground just got a little extension to the same grounding point as the other one, and I'll make it focus so you guys can see that better. There you go. Right, and under there, still need to tuck away the wires a little bit better, but it works. And the way I know it works is that when I short out these two contacts as if the switch was closed, quite the volume. So yeah, that's good news. Now I might start it up and test it out, make sure everything works good again, but that, barring any other issues, is the end of this install. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll catch you later.